Hello, everyone, and welcome to this year's NHS introduction presentation. In today's presentation, we'll be going over all the NHS requirements for this semester, how we are going completely virtual, and our upcoming projects. We're going to discuss a lot of important information, so please pay attention so you can clearly understand everything we're going to talk about today. This presentation is being live streamed on YouTube, and we will also upload the full video on YouTube after we have finished this video. So you can watch this video in your free time after we are done. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off by introducing the Plano East NHS officer team. To begin, my name is Sridhara Tiadala, and I will be your NHS president for this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Sam Nicola, and I'll be one of your vice presidents this year.
Hey guys, my name is Jada, and I'll also be your vice president this year.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and I'm the director of events. I'm responsible for the programs this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Shrey, and I'm an events coordinator along with Shreya and Sophia.
Hi guys, I'm Shreya, and I help Shrey and Sophia on the events committee.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashlyn, and I am the director of service for this year. I'm responsible for coordinating all the virtual service projects.
Hello, my name is Vaishnavi, and I work with Ashlyn and Thanis on the service committee.
Hi everyone, my name is Thanis, and I work with Ashlyn and Vaishnavi on the service committee.
Hey guys, my name is Jacob Roy, and I'm the director of public relations. As a member of the PR team, our job is to handle social media, update the website, and make sure that you have all the information you need in order to have a successful year.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I coordinate with Jacob on the PR team. Especially in this new virtual environment, we'll make sure that you're always up to date and all of the latest NHS info.
Hey guys, my name is Rohan Springer, and I'm one of the directors of our marketing and networking team this year.
Hi, my name is Luke Maiden, and I also co-direct marketing and networking with Rohan, where we oversee outreach and communication with other organizations and members.
My name is Vishal Patel, and I'm on marketing and networking.
And I'm Priya, and we work with Rohan and Luke on the marketing and networking committee.
Hello there. My name is Venu, and I'm the director of operations for the current school year. The operations and technology committees will be responsible for maintaining accurate financial records for the chapter, updating chapter technology, and coordinating membership data.
Hi guys, my name's Nathan. I'm on the operations team, and I work with Ethan and Venu.
Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm part of the operations team and the tech team, and I work with Venu and Nathan in maintaining our portal system.
And finally, our chapter advisor and club sponsor is Mr. Carter.
So here you can see all of our social media and the link to our website. Make sure that you are a part of the Google Classroom and following our Instagram. But the most important thing is that there is at least one way for you to receive all the information that we give out.
So before we get into any more content, we want to make sure that all information we present today is given as clearly as possible. If at any point during today's meeting you have a question, please do take a note of this link or scan the QR code to ask your question on the Google form. At the end of the meeting, we'll be sure to answer any of those submitted questions. This Google form video down below.
So this year we are abolishing all chapter meetings. You guys can celebrate, yes. And I know you might also be wondering, how are you going to get all the information out about our service events and general events that you need to be made aware of? Well, this year we're having a newsletter where we're going to cover the same information that we would usually cover in our chapter meetings. This newsletter will be distributed by email and be published to our website, so stay tuned.
In order to uphold your membership, there are some requirements you have to meet. So you need to have at least a 3.6 GPA or higher. You need to get at least 8 credits per semester, and there is a new credit system that's replacing the old service hour and meetings requirements. And last but not least, you need to lead by example and carry yourself with an honorable character day to day.
Now we will be talking about our brand new credit system for this year. We designed this system to give you the most flexibility when it comes to accomplishing the service requirements for this semester. That's why we made sure to give you multiple options when it comes to how to earn a credit. The 3 options are service hours, NHS program hours, and donation hours. Regardless of how you decide to earn your credits, The most important thing to note is that by the end of the semester, you should have at least 8 credits. Now let's talk about what exactly these 3 options look like.
The first way to earn credits is through the traditional service hours that most of you are already accustomed to. For every hour of time spent doing service, you will receive 1 credit. NHS will be hosting service opportunities this year that all members are encouraged to participate in, and you can earn your credits by attending these NHS-sponsored service projects. Additionally, like in the past, you also earn credits through completing external volunteer work that is not affiliated with Plano East NHS. However, we would like to emphasize that members should not have to find service projects beyond what is offered through our chapter, as you will be able to attain your credit requirements simply by attending these NHS service projects. In addition, if you have participated in any service projects over the summer, including the Talk to Teachers Challenge, a maximum of 6 of these summer hours can be used to obtain 6 of the 8 credits needed for this fall semester. Located on our website, peshnhs.org, under the Virtual Service tab, is an overview of the new changes being implemented this year. We expect each member to adhere to these guidelines whenever conducting service, especially since many of us will be conducting virtual service this year. Failure to do so may result in a penalty from the chapter leadership.
For a comprehensive list of virtual service opportunities you can participate in addition to the ones provided by NHS, visit our website, peshnhs.org, and locate the master list under the Virtual Service tab. We encourage you to utilize these resources throughout the school year. However, please do not feel obliged to earn credits through this list. NHS will continue to provide enough service opportunities for its on-campus and remote members throughout the year to fulfill your 8 credit requirement.
There are certain activities that do not count as service and will not earn credits. This includes any required class tasks, such as completion of a group project or a homework assignment. Informal tutoring that is not affiliated with an approved organization does not count for service, so helping your sibling with homework will not earn a credit. Any activities promoting a political or religious viewpoint will not count as service, including volunteering for a political campaign or mission work. Any form of paid employment or work in a home, such as babysitting, does not count as service. If you attend a service event and are not actively volunteering for a period of time, such as during breaks, this time will not count towards your credit hours.
The second way to get credits is through donation hours. So every donation you get translates into 1 credit. A $10 donation to any organization will count as 1 donation hour and therefore 1 credit. You can get a maximum of 3 donation hours per semester. Now, when you're submitting your donation hours, you're going to be submitting an electronic receipt of your donation in the portal. So make sure to keep track of those.
Programs are the third and final way that you can obtain your credits. Programs are any NHS-sponsored events or service projects. We will host 1 to 2 programs per month where you can get 1 credit for every hour that you attend. Please remember that any student, regardless if you are face-to-face or virtual, can attend these programs. There are 2 types of programs: service projects and events. NHS-sponsored service projects, as Ashlyn mentioned before, include projects such as the Flipgrid Teacher Appreciation Project back in May, or projects where we partner with another club. On the other hand, NHS-sponsored events include listening to guest speakers or attending seminars.
Here's the current calendar for October. Looking ahead, you will see that registration must be completed by October 2nd. 2 guest speaker programs are currently scheduled for October. Nicholas Meyer will be speaking about online leadership on October 10th, and Yorm Solomon will be speaking about trust and leadership on October 17th.
Let's start with registration. If you have not already registered on the portal, please visit the NHS website and sign up before October 2nd. Registrations must be completed with your MyPISD Google account when signing in. This must be done in order to participate in future NHS programs and get credits for attending these programs. Also, please note that there will be reduced dues in the spring semester that include the T-shirt and other fundings for the NHS programs.
Your personal credits log is now available through the portal at portal.peshnhs.org by navigating to the credit log in the sidebar. Within the page, you can create a new entry for any credits that you may have earned through service, NHS programs, or donations. For verification, you must upload 1 and only 1 image for each entry that provides adequate proof of your credit. At the same time, please avoid revealing sensitive information within these photos. Our portal accepts JPG and PNG file types with a maximum file size of 20 megabytes per picture. Screenshots are preferred, but if you aren't able to take one, you can always upload a normal photo from your phone. Just please make sure that it meets the requirements for file format and file size. Any credits earned through programs hosted through the Plano East NHS chapter are automatically recorded and accredited, as shown by the blue checkmark symbol, so you do not need to add these yourself. For example, members who participated in the Talk to Teachers Challenge last year or the upcoming Padlet project will automatically have those credits added to your credit log as the system is updated. Just make sure that you follow the appropriate instructions within those service projects, and we'll be able to process everything for you automatically. Here is a photo of how the credit log looks. As you can see, all NHS-sponsored credits will have the verified symbols next to them. And finally, here is a picture of the photo verification process. Please note that there is a maximum of 20 megabytes per picture, and the only accepted file types will be .jpg and .png files.
To ensure as smooth of a submissions process as possible, please keep in mind the following tips. We strongly recommend using a computer to upload your images through the portal rather than using your smartphone. To transfer photos to your computer from your phone, you can use Google Drive, email, or AirDrop, whichever works best for you. While the portal only accepts .jpeg or PNG file formats, you can use several services online to convert to those formats if needed, if, for example, you have a .heic format, which smartphones usually convert to. For some entries, you may find that you need to make a collage of multiple photos to showcase your work. That way, everything is shown in just one photo for submission. One easy way of accomplishing this is by adding your photos to a slide on Google Slides or on Microsoft PowerPoint and downloading that slide as a PNG or JPEG image file. Of course, if you have any further questions on the submissions process, you can always visit our FAQ page at our main website for more information on the submissions process, reach out to an officer, or feel free to ask a question through the question form at any time. We will be sure to answer your question at the end of the presentation. Please do note that the officer team will manually review all credits log submission in an ongoing process throughout the year. As such, we will be continually updating the status for each submission, marking them as accepted, pending, or rejected within the portal. As long as your submission is complete with a title, description, and photo verification, your submission should update from pending to accepted once an officer reviews your credit log. Just like with our paper logs last year, we expect that almost all hours will be accepted, just like with the paper logs from previous years, so there's no reason to worry. Unlike previous years though, if your submission is rejected, you will actually be given the chance to resubmit with more information for no penalty at all. The portal will contain more information for an officer for resubmission if that applies to you.
Additionally, on the NHS student portal, there is a calendar pane where you can see service opportunities, guest speaker events, and due dates. Moving forward, please be sure to check this as a source for important dates.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up our portal. Now let's go over a few additional important announcements. So to begin with, this school year, NHS aims to partner with on-campus clubs to bring service opportunities to our members. If you are a club leader, we welcome you to fill out our club partnership form located on our website or scan the QR code listed here to directly access the form. Please note that this form allows you to suggest service projects, but it does not guarantee a partnership with NHS.
This year, we're also creating a suggestion box where you can leave any information you'd like the NHS committee to take into consideration. It's live and already taking responses, and we've included a QR code as well as a URL on the Google Slides. We would really appreciate you taking the time to leave any information for us because we want to make NHS as best as we can for the members.
Please note that there are two types of NHS members. There are inducted members and candidates. Inducted members are those who have already been inducted in an NHS chapter, either here at East, at Williams, Macmillan, or another school. On the other hand, candidates are members that are looking to get inducted into NHS chapter, and they're technically not NHS members yet. All sophomores are candidates. Candidates are still held to the same requirements as current members, but they also do not have the privilege of receiving a warning if an NHS requirement is not met. Candidates become full-fledged NHS members at the end of the year when they accomplish all the NHS requirements in the induction ceremony that will take place at a later date at the end of the year.
Keeping in mind the present circumstances, NHS has in general adopted a policy of leniency towards most issues. Of course, we do still have set guidelines that are important to remember to be a member or candidate in good standing. In the case that these guidelines aren't met, you may receive a warning or face dismissal. You will receive a warning letter if you do not receive enough credits, have behavioral issues, or your GPA drops below 3.6. However, if you are placed on warning, you do have 1 semester to return to good standing. Your warning letter will explain to you what you need to do to return to good standing, and the successful completion of these tasks on time will result in the removal of any warnings in your membership status.
However, you will be dismissed for not resolving your warnings from the previous semester or for serious disciplinary violations such as academic dishonesty, ISS placement, suspension, etc. If you are in such a situation, you need to come talk to Mr. Carter ASAP in room B4148 or via email at ret.carter@pist.edu for students at home. The Faculty Council makes all disciplinary and dismissal decisions, which are then approved by the principal. Members are entitled to a hearing if they are considered for dismissal, but do note that non-inducted candidates are not entitled to the same due process that members receive. Keep in mind that you will not receive a warning letter if you fall below standard, but will instead receive a letter of non-reconsideration. But no worries, there is no restriction on reapplying next year.
So if you're a senior member in good standing, please consider applying for the NHS scholarship. $200 million will be awarded among 600 scholarship winners, with the national winner receiving $25,000. This scholarship is both need and merit-based, and if you want to apply, please note that you will have to have a recommendation from Mr. Carter and Mr. King.
Before we take questions, I just want to clarify, we have a typo on one of our slides for the types of members. It said inducted members are technically not members yet. This is incorrect. Inducted members, you guys are completely full-fledged members. That part was supposed to go under candidates. So inducted members, if you've gone through an induction ceremony, you are a full-fledged member. Candidates, if you have not gone through induction ceremony, you are not a full-fledged member and are not technically members yet. Sorry for that confusion. So at this time, we'll now answer the questions that you guys asked during this presentation. And if you have any more questions, you can check out the question form in the description box below this video, and we will be sure to answer those questions as well. Thank you.
So our first question we have is about the newsletter. So the question is, where can I find the newsletter? So the newsletter will be distributed by email and be published on our website. So make sure that when you're registering in the portal, you put down a reliable email that you check.
All right, so our next question is, how can our parents get reminders for NHS? It's a great question. So we invite all parents to have the same access to information as all of our NHS students. Our primary resource is definitely the website, peshnhs.org. And from there, your parents can view all of our newsletters, chapter resources, the bylaws, and everything else that we have for the year on our site. They're also more than welcome to join our Google Classroom with the code 6VS6VEB. We also encourage all students and parents to follow us on our social media platforms, and we'll love to answer any additional questions you may have through our suggestion box or by emailing peshnhs@gmail.com.
So one question that we have is that, will the service activities during this time through NHS be virtual and directly after meetings like they were last year? So the answer to this question, we are going to have all of our NHS service projects and service activities virtual. However, since we are canceling meetings for this year and years to come, they will not be after school or after meetings directly how they used to be. They will either be, they'll usually be after school or they can be on weekends. And sometimes we'll have service projects that extend a duration of time. So for example, our upcoming service project, the Padlet project, actually runs for 2 weeks. So if any of you guys were familiar with the Flipgrid project that we did in May of last year, that project endured for 1 to 2 weeks. So we'll have projects like that, but we'll also have projects that are just meant for after school.
Another question was, can volunteering at a voter registration drive be accepted as service? So unfortunately, even if the event is nonpartisan, it will not count for any NHS service hours because it doesn't fulfill the NHS guidelines and bylaws. So yeah, that won't count for any service opportunities. Anything affiliated with a political party or voter registration or a religious idea will not count for service.
The next question we have is, does a signature for an event by someone in charge count as an acceptable photo? Absolutely, yes. Just take a picture of it and submit it as if it was a normal picture. We understand that we just implemented this system and are announcing it to you guys right now. So if you have any signatures from summer or from anything else that you would like to turn in, just take a picture of it and submit it through the log like normal.
Our next question is in regards to the Talk to Teachers challenge last year. And they asked, will my credit log be automatically updated, or is there someone I should reach out to? We have a running log of all members who uploaded a video last spring to Flipgrid. We will be processing all of these submissions in the coming weeks. And to answer your question, yes, they will be automatically added into your credit log with a blue check mark to indicate that they are approved credits that no longer require verification of any kind from our officer team.
Another question regarding service is, so are we service projects monthly? And if we attend those, will we have enough credits? And the answer is yes. As we said in our presentation, you do not need to look externally for any virtual volunteer opportunities. However, you can if you want to. We do have a master list that has an entire comprehensive collection of different service-based opportunities that you can also participate in. And as we said again, just make sure that you take some sort of photo verification that we can use to check your hours.
Okay, so this next question is, what if you do not have social media for updates? And that is totally okay. You can always have Google Classroom and have notifications on for that. And then we'll also have announcement on our website as well. So Google Classroom and your website will be your friend.
So our next question is, if I was a junior who hasn't attended the induction ceremony, but I put inducted member, is there a way to change this? So because of COVID, we didn't actually have an in-person induction ceremony, but if you were a sophomore last year or a junior and you satisfied all the requirements to be an NHS, then you are an inducted member. So there's no need to worry about that.
Another question we had was, who can we give donations to monetary-wise? And the answer to that is any trusted organization or cause. So if you are trying to Venmo a friend $10, that will not count as a donation hour. So make sure you are donating to trusted organizations.
On the same note, we have a question, can we volunteer at our church? You can, however, you need to make sure that it's for another organization, say like a cancer foundation or something like that, and making sure that it's not relating to conversion or any type of religious aspect.
So another question was, even if we aren't inducted yet, are we still allowed to get credits? And the answer is, if you aren't inducted yet and you want to become a member, you actually need credits. This is true for all members. You're responsible for 8 credits. And as mentioned before, you can get them through programs, donation hours and service hours. And again, you can refer back to this video if you have questions, but if you are not inducted yet, you still can get credits and you are in fact required to.
So I saw a question about CAS projects in IB. So the question is, I know that you have a link to partner with clubs, but can IB students doing CAS projects partner with NHS too? So I would say talk to Mrs. Stanton, the IB coordinator, and also make sure you have a substantial amount of students, because essentially when we collaborate with clubs, we have both NHS club members and the club members who are collaborating with us at the event. So I would definitely talk to Mrs. Stanton about that so that she can work it something out with Mr. Carter.
Another question is, with the credit system, can any hours over the summer count, or is there a deadline date? So any service hours that you completed over the summer will count for the first semester of the school year. So that means that if you completed 6 hours of service, then those 6 hours will count for 6 credits. There is a restriction though. Anything more than those 6 hours will not count for your service hours.
All right, our next question, where do we find the slides? So all the copies of our meeting presentations will always be posted on our website, peshnhs.org. We'll also leave this YouTube live running on our YouTube account in case you ever needed to access it again.
Our next question is about if you're a sophomore. So if you're in 10th grade and you want to be a member, the question is asking, how do I know if I'll be accepted into NHS? So in order to be accepted into NHS, this goes for a sophomore, anyone that's a candidate right now. All you have to do is satisfy all the requirements. So get all those 8 credits for this semester, and then the credits that we'll have for next semester. And then, be a good leader and keep up your GPA. You'll automatically be a member, become a member, and we'll send you a notification about the induction ceremony that you have to attend to officially become a member. And then on those lines, a sophomore asked, a current junior who was a sophomore asked, last year I didn't have an official induction ceremony because of COVID. And they're asking if I'm still at NHS, if I'm a candidate or a member. So if you attended any sort of induction ceremony, whether it be virtual or in person, you are an NHS member and you're no longer a candidate. So even if you, just filled out a Google form when it came to the induction ceremony, you're still a member. You're no longer a candidate.
We have another question regarding club partnerships. So the question that was asked is, can clubs that are completely virtual fill out the form? And to that, the answer is yes. We highly encourage every on-campus organization and club to fill out this form if they have any ideas. We are welcome to look at absolutely any ideas that you may have. So please fill out that form, especially since due to the current circumstances, we have to have some virtual club organizations as well as some on-campus ones. So this is definitely something that you should look into doing.
So the next question is, if you use a volunteer activity for a different club, can it also be used for NHS? So when it comes to NHS policies, you can use those hours towards NHS. However, there are some clubs that do not allow you to overlap. And so on our side, it's a go ahead. You can use those club hours for NHS, but sometimes these clubs, these other service clubs have their own requirements. So just make sure to ask your club sponsor, your club officer. A great example of this is P Club. They have requirements that prevent overlap of hours. So just make sure to talk to your club officers or leadership or the club sponsor for that.
So one question I saw was, can we donate to our mosque? So when dealing with any religious institution, you can volunteer there as long as you aren't promoting that religion. So if you're handing out flyers in your religion, then that would not be counted as service. But if you're donating to your church or your mosque, or doing anything like that, that's non-proselytizing, non-promoting your religion, then you should be good in terms of service.
We had a question that asked, do Eagle Scout projects count as service? The thing with projects is if you are coordinating it, that will not count. But if you are actively volunteering and doing some type of promoting or campaigning or making some sort of project and actually physically doing something, then that will definitely count for service.
So another question we have is, how will attendance to the NHS meetings work this year? So actually, we no longer have meetings for NHS this year, so we'll no longer be collecting attendance for those meetings. However, when it comes to certain NHS programs, We will be collecting attendance for that. So just so we can automatically give you those credits for attending those NHS programs. So a great example of this is that we're going to have guest speaker events where a guest speaker is gonna come on a call, and then we can ask them questions and they'll give a talk. And so for that we will be recording attendance so that we can automatically give you those credits.
So another question we have is how do you show proof of making a donation, and how many credits do you need every year? So for donations, you can sort of attach a receipt or it's any sort of proof that you get. Just submit that through the credits log online, and it's 8 credits per semester, so that would be 16 credits for the entire year.
Another question we have is, can you give us an example of an approved picture or approved proof? This is going to be different for every service activity, but just know that if it's not approved, we will reject it, and then we'll tell you what you need to do to change it. So don't worry about that.
And we have a question along those similar lines. When we are submitting a photo for our service hours, what should we include in the photo? So a lot of the service that's going to be done this year is going to be through virtually, and so a lot of times these websites or services that you're going to get these service hours from will give you some sort of status or certificate for your service. So for those type of things, you could just easily take a screenshot and then upload that picture. If you're doing in-person service, you can take a picture of you doing that service or you at that place. Or if you have a signature from something you did in the summer, then you can just take a picture of that signature. But usually when it comes to in-person, it would be highly appreciated if you can take a picture of yourself doing that service. That way we can be 100% sure that you actually did that service. And as Nathan mentioned, if we do not see ample evidence of you getting that credit, we will just send you a notification saying this needs some more info, and you can submit a different picture. That credit hour will not get rejected right away.
Another question we have related to service is, how do we sign up for the NHS events that we want to attend for service hours? So since this year we're going virtual, we're actually going to span our projects probably like 1 or 2 weeks or over a span of a couple days, just to give people time to complete those projects, because we know with at home and in person, our schedules can vary. So that's why we are going to accommodate for that and having longer periods of time. So don't worry about having to sign up. You can just participate whenever you want to, and we will be sure to get that information to you.
On the same note, we had another question regarding service. The question that was asked was, can we tutor online for a trusted organization like Math Help? So the answer to that is yes, you can for a trusted organization. So if you are tutoring someone like your cousin or a sibling, that does not count. However, if you're doing it for an organization, like we have actually listed a couple on our master list that you can look to. They are great organizations. Those will count. And we would like to clarify that the opportunities on the master list are not required. NHS will provide you with a sufficient amount of service projects for you to attend to in order to meet your 8 credit requirement for the semester.
Another question that we had. Sure. Another question that we had was, what is the best way to contact an officer? And there are several ways that you can go about doing this. First of all, we have a suggestion box that we linked a QR code and a URL on the PowerPoint slide. So if you'd like to go back through the meeting and find that, it is also linked on our website. We can take a suggestion, and we have an area for an email for return emails that you can fill out. Also, you can feel free to reach out to any of us individually or through social media, through the Plano East NHS Instagram or other social medias that we have, and PR will be sure to get you a response on anything you have questions about.
So we had a question.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we had a question about rejections. How will rejections work for credit logs? So after you submit your credit information through our portal on the credit log, if it's not up to the standard that we need it and it doesn't have all the information, then we're going to return it to you, and it's going to say returned on the portal. So then you can see our message to you, and then you can adjust accordingly and fix it and then resubmit.
So another question we have is working with kids kind of like pals off campus during school hours considered NHS hours, since we are not required to be on those sites with them? Yes, so since it's off campus during, even if it's during school hours, since it's not affiliated, if you're not required to do it and it's not part of some sort of class that you're taking, that definitely counts as credits. And the only reason we say that even if the service during school hours is that a lot of times kids will help out their teachers during school hours, or do something during lunch, and that usually doesn't count as service because you're already at school, so you're not going out of your way to do service. You're already at school, so that doesn't count as service. But in this case, working with kids kind of like pals off campus during school hours still counts as service.
So I see a question that says, what if I fit all requirements but didn't enter NHS? Well, you can still register for NHS. Just go to our website, peshnhs.org, and simple, where you can find the classroom code, the link to the portal, and you can register yourself and join the classroom.
So another question we have is, can you volunteer at a specific event more than once? So when it comes to, like, let's say you do a volunteer every week, you're going to some place every week, that definitely counts. You can attend event multiple times. But when it comes to NHS sponsored events, so events that we organize, we're not going to have those events more than once. So if you attend the first one, you're going to get credits. But after that, that same project is not going to get repeated twice.
So someone asked if the 8 credit requirement is for one semester or for the whole year. So it is for each semester. So that means at the end of the year, you want to have a total of 16 credits.
And finally, the last question we have is, how are we able to raise our GPA if it is not what it needs to be right now? So when it comes to our GPA requirement, as long as you have your 3.6 GPA at the end of the semester, you will be in good standing. But if you don't have that 3.6 GPA by the end of the semester, then you will receive a warning. And all you have to do to become a member in good standing and just keep up your GPA and make sure that it's at that 3.6 by the end of the next semester. However, this isn't the case if you are a sophomore or you are a candidate for membership. If you are a sophomore or candidate, you have to keep your 3.6 GPA throughout the entire year, or else you will not become a member. We just have more stricter rules for candidates, so that's why that's in place. So that's going to wrap it up for this introduction presentation. We really appreciate all of you guys attending and asking questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in our suggestion box or email us at peshnhs.org. Actually, one clarification is that PALS hours, as I said before, PALS hours actually do not count as service because it's a class. However, if it's helping with kids somewhere else, like outside of school, and it's not related to school, then it does count as service. So because PALS is affiliated with Plano East, and it's a class, it doesn't count as service. And then when it comes to helping teachers, if you help them during lunch, that's okay. But you cannot, if you're helping them, like if you're doing something for them, like just during class, just for like 5-10 minutes, that's not going to count. And if you help them after school, that counts as well. And then another big clarification when it comes to CAS and NHS is that CAS hours can be used for NHS. So that's something very important for you IB students. You can use CAS hours as NHS hours. So that's it for this meeting. As I said before, thank you guys for attending. And if you have any more questions, you can email us at peshnhs@gmail.com, or you can enter a question in the suggestion box. We hope to see you at our next NHS project. And